Hey guys, it's Nate here. I wanted to make a quick video on how to get outlier stats, particularly 99 stats, copious amounts of 99 stats in evolutions for this Team of the Year evos season coming up. And I had a few questions on how I had gotten certain cards to have such large amounts of 99 stats in even consequential categories. And I'm going to show you exactly how using a couple very quick steps. It meant mind this is my Evo lab here. I have nothing up to date. 80% of these cards are either not owned concepts, cards that aren't even close to being there are versions I have on the game. I've also been heavily away with some family issues and whatnot, so hence my slacking off. But I've done what I can, and I'll do my best to walk you guys through it. So, a couple things to note with card upgrades. First of all, there are two types of stat upgrades that EA will release for any player this year. They'll release either in certain evolutions flat stat upgrades. And when I say a flat upgrade, this means an upgrade to a category as a whole. So that's either pace, shooting, passing, dribbling, defending, or physical. When they do that, every stat in that category gets upgraded to formulate whatever it is that the rating cap is on that set. So let's say I were to give Nicholas Pepe +5 shooting to 86. Then you would see 86 positioning, 86 finishing, uh, 92 shot power, vice versa. You can go through the list. And the same would be true for passing, dribbling, defending, and physical. Uh, the other way that stats can be boosted are using stat by stat boosts. So instead of something like, say, we'll use warming up, which came today, where it's just pace, passing, dribbling, shooting, defending, physicality. That's a flat boost in every stat. You have in more common evolutions stat by stat boosts that boost individual in game stats. So using Magician of the Right, we'll see this will boost individually acceleration and sprint speed somewhere. Here we go. Individually, each dribbling attribute, each passing attribute. Uh, and I'm sure there is a flat stat boost at some point. Yeah, here we go. Shooting as a whole. So that means that all the shooting attributes are boosted. That's very important to know the difference between the two. The difference between a flat boost and a stat by stat boost. And I'll show you why. Because you can exploit the difference between those two to get these crazy cards. So, uh, the first thing that you've got to do is decide who you're evoing. Uh, this player needs to fit one of these two requirements. They either need to be very low rated or need to have lopsided stats in more than one category. The more, the better. When I say what I mean when I say lopsided stats are stats that are not close in value within the same stat category. So I'll use the bronze Anasika Menta. Um, Part of the reason I evoed him is because he's 6'8" and he's going to be my guy. But he's perfect for this for a couple of reasons. His pace, the two pace attributes are not close. So his pace is good to go to start. The shooting is a little bit too close. The passing, again, three passing attributes are 53 plus. The others are very low. The physicals, again, perfect 60, 67, 87, 77. Of course, for every striker, the heading accuracy is always going to be a lot higher. Dribbling needs some work. So, how do we get him into to have 99 stats? Well, in the categories where he's already got lopsided stats, it's fairly simple. All you have to do is give him flat stat boosts up until the point where he reaches one of the two categories, or in a category other than pace, say physical, where it might be two of the four, or in dribbling, where it might be three of the six, reaches the mid to high to 99 rated. We're talking 92 plus in those categories. The type of stats that you would never get from a normal intentional Evo. You don't want to augment a stat category that's already lopsided, like sprint speed and acceleration, with an individual boost that's going to boost the acceleration and sprint speed to a similar level. By getting him there, and I'll show you the Amenta that I have now, you can get a lopsided stat boost, and I'll use a couple of evos that he's not eligible for just to show you what would happen if I were to just go pure pace. What was the get a move on? Can never remember the names of these various. So this is what it would look like with this Amento if he was 88, or we'll use a wingback. What was it? Chilling. Obviously, he's not a wingback. I'm just using this because I know it has a flat pace boost. So you'll see the category, the pace category here is very lopsided. I'll use a shooting one as well. Grass cutter, I know, is flat shooting, just to show you what I mean. Here we have horrible deficiencies and then outstanding stats. This is exactly what we're going for. And the only way that you can get stats that look like these, where you've got 99s and you've got some really ugly ones, is by positioning the card before they have those flat boosts with lopsided categories. Now, if you let's say you have great sentiment towards a player who you don't overly care for, we'll say I don't know. I'll pick a random bronze player here. We'll say Kevin here. And Kevin, as an example, has pretty balanced defending stats. So let's say you're a big fan of Kevin and you really wanted to evo him and get a really stacked right back. Well, in each of these categories, you'd want to find something of the ones that aren't lopsided that will boost only one or only some of his stats in that category. So Time Traveler would be a great example. In defending, it gives interceptions, heading, and standing tackle, but does not give awareness and slide tackle. So let's put Time Traveler into him. And then let's put anything with a flat defending use. There's plenty. I'm just going to use for ease of use sake, brute defense a couple of times just to show you the point. So any flat boost up to 88. We'll see what his stats look like here. So now we've got 89, 95, 76, 98, 80. Now, keep in mind, this is not going to be great to use in game. 76 defensive awareness is problematic. But any old defensive evo, let's say it was a Winter Wall one that, I'm putting in the wrong place, Winter Wall one that came out. I had to check eligibility. Okay, yeah, any old defensive evo. Keep in mind, now he's at 91 defending. Keep in mind that this evolution here, Winter Wall, does not give anything above 90. Interceptions 86, slide tackle 86, defensive awareness 87, heading 89, stand 87. So you're going to get 87-ish defending for just about any other normal card that you put in this Evo. And this is what you want to be targeting for every individual category: is get those stats lopsided, then put them into a flat boost, and then finally put them into something to boost them stat by stat to correct those deficiencies. Now, it's important to note when you're deciding which stats you want to make deficient and which stats you want to make excellent, obviously, what is available is going to dictate that largely. But weighting is not equal. EA does not assign an equal value to each stat in every category. For example, in acceleration and sprint speed counts as 60% of the pace attribute, and acceleration is 40%. The calculations are much more complicated in these stat categories, but finishing is more valuable than penalties, as an example. Dribbling, the actual dribbling stat, is the most valuable dribbling stat in dribbling, meaning that if I'm going purely for maximum 99 stats, the dribbling stat is one that I'd like to go into a flat boost with as abnormally low as possible. Allowing these other stats to be as abnormally high as possible, thus getting them to 99. Now, balance, I had neglected and was able to get this balance up there just through pumping balancing acts into them. But in most of the other cases, I haven't done that. In passing, this will end up as 499s. This will end up as, depending on where I can get the max flat boost, if it's at 88, it'll be 97, 97, 99, 99. Which will make the end version of this card mid-90s across the board, other than defending. So that is the notion. The one last thing that I'll add is the earlier you can get the stats to be lopsided, the better. Stats are not improved at the same rate all the time. And I'll use this Amenta that I have here, which is not actually updated to its current form, as a perfect example. So obviously, as is the case with any 6'8" center forward, his defending is super lopsided. He has 20, 84 heading, 23, 21, 19. So he's terrible tackling. If I were to put him into something, let's say Il Catenaccio. Now, Il Catenaccio is a flat boost, but it's a +3 defending and a +3 physicality. And he already has 88 physicality, so he's getting no physicality. Keep in mind, 20, 84, 23, 21, 19. We're going to put this on him. And wait, did it work? It did. Okay. Look at the stats now. You got a +3 defending, but a +10 heading accuracy. The reason for this is that when you have large gaps in the stats in any one category, a flat boost is going to boost the better stats at a disproportionately fast rate than the others. And you want that to get it to the high 90s or ideally 99 as fast as possible. And then you can put him into something else. Just showing you here, if I were to put Imenta into, let's say, warming up and grass cutter, and I had other cards I was working. Let's say we put him into proper passer as well. Not proper passer. There was the just passing by. We'll say we'll put him into, and then proper passer as well. This Imenta card would then have, this is exactly what we're going for. Assuming so let's say get a move on. We'll just use a bunch of the flat evos that have been out, and I'll put them into what was it? We'll use an old striker evo. What's the name of the Zlatan one? Frostbite finisher. We'll go for. I remember that being. I might have to check eligibility. That was ages ago. Frostbite finisher as an example. This gives, I know, apart from pace, a stat by stat boost. This is what we're working with here, right? Because Frostbite finisher will never give you 99s in these categories, but it will boost the dribbling and agility up. And mind you, these are pretty crappy agility and dribbling boosts. It will boost the stamina and aggression up, which weren't good. It apparently doesn't do anything for crossing and free kicks. I don't care. That finishing that was 79 is now 90. Those penalties that were horrible are now 81. And the pace is a flat boost. Mind you, I put them into anything else like not fast feet. What was it called? What I can't even remember the name of the one that gave a pace boost, but only fresh legs. Here we go. So had I put him into fresh legs before that and gotten him into something to boost the acceleration, then you could get up to 92 pace. That Excel has a little bit more room to grow. So this is the gist on how to build crazy evolution cards. Instead of just throwing them into the Team of the Year evolutions, which I'm certain, at least for the one that we're going to get today, is likely going to be stat by stat boosts in separate stages. If you can, and you care to have the patience to make a legitimate Team of the Year caliber card, and I mean like not Team of the Year nominee, I'm talking about as good as the Team of the Year caliber cards, provided that you've got the play styles to make it work. This is how you can do it. You've got to stay. It takes some patience. It takes some foresight. It takes putting some evos on guys when it doesn't look like it'll obviously pay off. But the idea is to get those stats lopsided, to boost them up to that maximum level, which in most cases is around 88, with using the flat boost, which will then give you the best possible stats in some categories and some really shoddy ones in other ones. And then when you've got those super lopsided stats, go put them into something like a frostbite finisher for a striker or a winter wall for a defender, and all of the deficiencies will get worked right out of the card, and you'll have something with 90s across the board. I've already got 4 or 5 of these players. I'll be happy to show them off on a stream that I'll hopefully be able to do and answer some questions this weekend as I am finally back home with my setup and able to do that for the first time in quite a bit. But appreciate you guys for sticking with me. Happy to help answer any questions and help out for those that are interested. Obviously, shoot me a message in the channels, DMs, Twitter/X, Discord. Although Discord DMs will take me a while because my app hides them. But anyways, glad to help. and interested to see what kind of evos you guys can put together.